Flingo's position in the value chain is that we're a software company embedded in smart devices, in connected devices. In people's homes, these are devices bought by consumers at retail. They're not provisioned by a carrier. Retail devices like tablets, phones, and TVs. We're very, very focused on smart TVs right now, and we think that's an exciting category, still fairly nascent. The category is less than a few years old. And we're seeing, increasingly higher penetration rates every year of people that choose to have a smart TV rather than a traditional TV. What we've learned by way of our position in the smart TV is that all the new apps that people are exposed to in the smart TV, whether it's Netflix or YouTube or any of the few hundred apps that are in a Roku or Samsung device, still represent a fairly small percentage of the time people spend in front of their television. They're certainly using them. We see that Wi-Fi enabled TV is connected to the internet over 70% of the time. And people will consume applications and content from Netflix and YouTube and all the new apps that are in these platforms. But less than 10% of people's time in front of the television is with over-the-top virtual services, and 90% or more is with traditional programming. Flingo has this sort of core fundamental belief that traditional programming, linear programming, isn't going away. When we look at the data, usage, business models surrounding linear programming, we actually see them getting bigger. That people are actually watching more TV than they ever have. The quality of programming is better than it ever has been. You can say that today is the golden age of television. And there's no revolution happening where people are running away from this format or this medium. In fact, they're more engaged. The business models surrounding traditional programming are also bigger today than they ever have been, whether it's traditional advertising that's traded on Madison Avenue, or subscriptions that are collected by satellite, cable, IPTV operators. So this business is big and it's getting bigger. Flingo makes the belief and fundamental recognition that that's not going to change anytime soon, and that the best use of software in connected devices is actually to complement the traditional experience and synchronize with it. So we built software that actually rapidly identifies the shows that people are consuming and tries to make that experience of those shows better. We've been, for the last 4 years, working on an algorithm which allows the smart TV to be not another set-top box, but to synchronize with the set-top box and extend the business model of traditional programming, make traditional content more interesting to people, and make the advertising that's in traditional programming more engaging, more measured, more interactive. And we believe that in doing so, we can transform the traditional brand ad business that's on television into something that looks a little bit more like a direct response business. Meaning that now advertisers will be able to actually close the loop in the television for the first time. And we think that's going to have massive, massive potential, massive impact in the marketing business. When you look at the companion experiences that are coming to market with smart TVs and tablets and phones, there's a core hurdle that we all have to overcome, which is that we have to make these smart devices aware of what's on the big screen. And we decided to invent our own technology to accomplish that. It's using a fingerprinting process that we invented, uses some pretty complex algorithms that look at the video characteristics of what's on the big screen and makes a determination about what's on the screen, what network, what show, what scene, what frame, what brands, what logos are sort of on the screen at that very moment in time. And then we enable some experiences with APIs. We thought the most interesting experience to start with is a social TV framework. And social TV is an interesting category because it's almost a misnomer. We think of it as something new, but in fact, TV has always been social. In fact, if you talk to any marketer in the programming business, they'll tell you that one of the prime motivators for people to watch TV and to tune into any show is to be able to talk about it. They don't feel left out the next day at work when people are around the water cooler and talking about their favorite show. So they tune in so they feel relevant in their culture, in their social circles. So TV has always been social. What we're doing with technology is we're place shifting that conversation. We're time shifting that conversation. Two very familiar terms in the technology business around television. We're moving it from the water cooler to your house. and we're moving it from the next day to concurrent with the viewing. And that's a really powerful opportunity in and of itself. It'll make it a lot easier for people to discover content when their friends are able to influence their discovery. And it'll give the opportunity to people to spend less time channel surfing and tuning into the things that really matter. So it reduces the sort of needle in the haystack problem without trying to put a keyboard, a mouse, and a search box in the television, which is proven to be an abject failure.